malls in the US were once known for their massive department stores, endless fast food courts, and as a Friday night hangout for teens. But with the rise of online retailers, it is a challenging time to be a mall owner.
Why are European malls outperforming US malls? American malls that were once thriving are closing down. It is also seen that many European malls are growing, and many of them are outperforming the US malls. What do you think is happening here? Let us find out. In the 1990s, the former Eastern Bloc of a beautiful, wealthy, and inspiring place was left behind by the dying, retreating Russian Empire. So if you want to go shopping, where do you think we'll go? Oh, you think the beautiful, more sovereign shopping centers seen by many on those Soviet retro-themed social media pages, full of their finest wares of the Eastern Bloc. No, you did not go shopping there. Instead, you went where the rest of society went. A market that sells vegetables, meat, knockoff clothing, and homemade food preserves from automobiles, buses, and trucks. It was chaotic and filthy, and often occurred on random sidewalks or underpasses. So where did the term shopping mall come from? A shopping mall, or simply a mall, is a large indoor shopping center in North America, usually anchored by department stores. The term mall was originally used to refer to a pedestrian promenade with shops along it. That is, the term was used to refer to the walkway itself, which such shops merely bordered. But in the late 1960s, it began to be used as a generic term for the large enclosed shopping centers that were becoming more common at the time. In the United Kingdom, such complexes are known as shopping centers, albeit the term shopping center encompasses a much broader range of sizes and types of centers than the term mall in North America. Other countries may adopt US usage: Philippines, India, and the United Arab Emirates, while others, like Australia and others, adopt UK usage. The term mall may be used informally in Canadian English, as well as in Australia and New Zealand, although the term shopping centre or simply centre will appear in the name of the complex, such as the Toronto Eaton Centre. The term mall is a less common aspect of the complex's name. Many malls in North America have decreased significantly, and some have closed, becoming so-called dead malls. Successful exceptions have incorporated entertainment and experiential components, anchored by big box stores or converted to other specialized shopping center formats, such as power centers, lifestyle centers, factory outlet centers, and festival marketplaces. Mixed-use high-rise developments are regularly replacing shopping malls in Canada. Once considered a daring advance in urban planning, shopping malls are falling into disrepair across the United States. Callum Glennon analyzes their growth and fall and the future of American shopping. Consumer retail was transformed in 1956. The Southdale Center in Edina, Minnesota, was the first of its kind. A big open structure packed with contemporary stores and public art. Its climate-controlled setting provided a haven for bored youngsters and deals for discerning buyers during the frigid Minnesota winter. It was the birth of the American shopping mall, a cultural institution that would span the country and define the American suburban landscape. However, while the modern shopper has changed, the mall has not. Many malls in the United States are struggling to fill floor space and are falling into disrepair because they can no longer attract the footfall they once did. Many malls are rapidly declining due to online shopping, changing consumer tastes, and, in some ways, their success. As shopping malls shut, new developments emerge. While some future malls are reinvented to better reflect their communities, others become entirely different. The modern US mall may be traced back to the opening of Southdale and its creator, Victor Gruen. Gruen was an Austrian-Jewish architect who moved to the United States in 1938. His mall attempted to recreate a piece of the life he had left behind in Europe, the lively town square. As American towns began to spread into the suburbs, Gruen intended to recreate the atmosphere of a medieval market or a Greek agora, a community area where people might gather, exchange ideas, and buy goods and services. While the stores were a significant aspect of the design, they were not the exclusive purpose of the space. Gruen envisioned a mall with services, including medical centers, schools, and housing. Following its release in the 1950s, Gruen's work became popular in the United States. Malls enabled individuals to shop in warm and welcoming places without traveling into the city. They brought together a variety of businesses and services in one location, something that main streets and cities could rarely provide. Malls rose to popularity as the United States suburbs expanded, moving farther away from metropolitan cores. After the first examples were erected in the 1950s, over 1,200 shopping malls sprouted up in the United States. They became an institution, a major presence in the suburban cultural zeitgeist. Green Street Advisors, a real estate research research organization assesses the health of the mall industry annually. Green Street grades malls from A++ to D based on occupancy, sales per square foot, and the demographics they serve. Green Street rated more than 300 U.S. malls as C+ or lower in its 2017 outlook, indicating a high probability of closure shortly. These malls account for only 5% of total mall value in the U.S. Yet, once a mall begins to sag, it might be nearly impossible to push it back up. Malls have strayed far from their initial concept, much to the chagrin of their creator. In a 1978 interview, Gruen unequivocally disagreed with modern malls' path. "I am often called the father of the shopping mall," he remarked. "I'd like to take this opportunity to officially deny paternity. I will not pay alimony for those wacky events. They raised our cities." The first generation of malls built between the mid-1950s and the mid-1960s devastated small towns, said Gibbs. They removed department stores from city centers and shifted the commercial center from downtown to the mall. Most downtowns struggled for the next 25 to 30 years. The result was disastrous. Malls were constructed largely by nature, and as they grew, they needed to migrate away from the town centers and populations they serve. Many malls became tough to visit without a car because broad highways surrounded them and frequently lacked adequate public transportation links. This merely encouraged additional urban growth, and as a result, the construction of even more malls. Their building immediately became a rich investment opportunity, and the market became saturated. The retailers on main streets and in cities were the most affected by the mass building of malls. At their peak, main streets and cities had about 80% of the retail market share, Gibbs remarked. After the malls left, it dropped to 5% of the market share. Most cities and metropolitan centers never fully recovered from the loss of business. Only about 23 or 30 American cities have regained maybe 20% of their market share from the 80% they had, Gibbs added. The malls in the United States are booming and progressively fading. Why is it that some say it's due to online commerce like Amazon, but Europe has those as well? Or is it because of purchasing power issues? But America is the richest country on the planet. It is not just the disappearance of customers that has contributed to the steady downfall of many malls. The economic model that formerly propelled them no longer makes sense in today's retail environment. A mall's conventional architecture consisted of a single, long enclosed hall connecting two big department stores at either end. These department stores, also known as anchor stores, were the main draws. Smaller boutiques would open along the pathways connecting these establishments, attracting a percentage of the customers walking by. Malls gradually began experimenting with various shapes and sizes, but the core assumption of connecting department stores remained constant. Naturally, these department stores wielded considerable clout over the mall's developers and owners. As the main attraction, they were able to negotiate everything from signage placement and parking lot size to extremely low rates. The persistent appeal of a mall's anchor stores was critical to its long-term sustainability. A department store shutting might create a chain reaction of decreased visitors, reduced expenditure, and eventually store closures. Many malls face the issue of finding something to replace a closed department store. Footfall would be disastrous if a mall lost many department stores simultaneously. There is a significant variation between European and American malls, which may explain some of the disparity. Large U.S. malls have traditionally been located in suburbia, with car parks as the only access mode other than insignificant public transportation. European malls appear to be located near city centers, with train transportation being the primary form of transportation. Larger distances between retailers in the United States, less time away from work, and longer car commutes have pushed buyers to Amazon, eBay, and internet shopping. More general establishments, such as drugstores and supermarkets, stock a wide range of goods for the busy customer. Finally, there is Walmart, which drives competition out of business and is much closer to the mall. Our smaller indoor malls were demolished years ago to make way for large box businesses. Let us know your thoughts, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.